This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to recap the Belmont Stakes. But before I do, I want to thank everybody for watching my Triple Crown season videos. A lot of success and growth on the channel this year, and it all started with the Road to the Oaks and Derby video series that I do each year. Had a lot of top choice winners for both of those series, and the momentum carried over to the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont. I did a lot of news videos, handicapping videos, got a lot of watch hours and new subscribers. I just want to thank everybody for supporting my work. I have a lot more stuff planned for the channel this year. For this summer, a lot of stuff from Del Mar and Saratoga. And then after that, we're going to be on the road to the Breeders' Cup. The next Triple Crown season is going to be starting in September, the early points races at Churchill Downs, and then other tracks with the 2-year-old points races as we lead up to the Breeders' Cup. And then next winter, all of the points races as well as we head into next spring for the next, when it gets more serious on the road to the Triple Crown season. So I'm going to have a lot of stuff planned in the coming days, weeks, and months to keep checking my channel, and I want to thank everybody for their support. Now, if you purchased my Belmont Stakes full card, I'm going to be offering a free full card to the Belmont Stakes clients, and that's just based on all of the bad weather and everything that happened. I got up this morning, I had to get up early and get the scratches, and then the first wave of scratches came in, and they were still on the turf, and then they started taking races off of the turf. More scratches came in the second scratch time, and then they were off the turf. And then after that, I was able to redo my tickets and get them out before the opening race. And then they still had some more scratches after that. And then they canceled 2 of the turf races and they moved them to Sunday. And they canceled some of the late wagers like the pick 4 and the pick 5. So it was just a bit of a mess. And I just felt terrible for all of the paying clients. You pay all your hard-earned money to get all of the work and all the work that I put into it. And a lot of it kind of went down the drain with all of those changes. But you can't really predict the weather, and certainly didn't expect it to be that bad. But it is what it is now. And I'm going to be offering a free full card later this summer, probably from Del Mar or Saratoga, to all of those Belmont clients. So thank you for purchasing my full cards. I had record full card sales for the Triple Crown this year, and a good profit too. For the Derby, over a little less than $1,000 profit. For the Preakness, had over $450 in profit. And then for the Belmont, did not have winning tickets. My top choice, journalism. I needed either journalism or Baeza to win, and I was just using journalism, Baeza, and sovereignty in almost all my wagers, but just keying in on journalism, backing up with Baeza in the exacta, and then throwing in Rodriguez in the superfecta. So I had the right 4, just not in the right order. This was the kind of year where it was very chalky and you had to take a stand. I took a stand with journalism, but sovereignty was just the best horse in the Belmont Stakes today. And we weren't able to get winning tickets, but overall for the 3 races, over $1,100 in profit. So a very good Triple Crown season again this year. And just thank everybody for purchasing and keeping my Runaway horse website growing, my channel growing as well. So let's just keep this momentum going for the rest of the year. And also, if you watch these videos, I'm going to be having some promo codes in the coming months for some of the full cards that I'm going to be offering at Del Mar and Saratoga this summer, and then for Del Mar, and then for Santa Anita this fall, and some cards like that. So keep looking out for these videos. I'm going to be having some promo codes for some discounts for some full cards in the coming weeks and months. Now we'll recap the Belmont Stakes. It was run on a good track. Now, it wasn't close to being good early in the card. The track was just a mess. It was sloppy, and then it just kept raining in the morning, and then it finally did stop. And after that, it was slowly upgrading from sloppy to muddy to a good track for the Belmont Stakes. And for the Belmont Stakes, it ran just like it looked like on paper, especially Rodriguez going out there and setting the pace. He was expected to do that. And Crudo was expected to be chasing from second, and that's exactly how it did play out. Now, for the fractions, they weren't that fast. 23.42, 47.60. So that first interior split, 24.18. So they really weren't going that fast. And then 112.20 for the 6 furlongs, and that split was 24.60. So they just weren't flying for horses of this caliber with nice controlled tempo out there. But Rodriguez was making his first start in more than in 9 weeks. So he probably needed to race, and he had that foot issue before. So he's one that he figured to be out there, but it was going to be tough for him to hold on. And that's exactly how it played out. Now, my top choice was journalism. He was your 2-to-1 favorite And for him, he broke from post 7. He did bobble at the start, but he was able to recover quickly, and he got that good outside tactical trip, just like I thought he would. But he had Sovereignty down on the inside, Junior Alvarado riding. He was just able to be closer to the pace this time, and he was able to just stalk and never be too far out of it. So Journalism was able to get that run that I thought he would get and get the jump and have the lead turning for home, and that's exactly what he did. He had the lead in the stretch, but Sovereignty, well handled by Junior Alvarado, was just able to save ground, tip outside, come after Journalism, and he ran past him, and he was able to win by 3 lengths, and he was 5-2. It was a good effort from Sovereignty, just like he did in the Derby. He loves the 1.25 miles, and he definitely loves moisture in the ground as well. And he's good on a fast track as well. So he's a horse that he can run at least 1.25 miles, and it looks like he could go further than that if they wanted to. But he's a very good horse, top 3-year-old in the country right now. And I don't think there's any doubt that the top 3-year-olds in the country, Sovereignty, Journalism, and Baeza, they were your top 3 finishers in the Kentucky Derby, with Sovereignty winning it, Journalism second, Baeza third. And then in the Preakness Stakes, Sovereignty and Baeza skipped that race. Journalism ran in it, and he overcame trouble when he won the Preakness. And then he was coming back his 3rd start in 5 weeks in this Belmont Stakes, and he ran a quality race. Now, it's possible that it just kind of caught up to him a little bit. Sovereignty was fresher. But I'm not going to make any excuses because Sovereignty's now beaten him 2 times. Journalism had the lead in both of those races, and Sovereignty just ran him down. So Sovereignty is the best 3-year-old in the country right now. Journalism, the 2nd best 3-year-old, and then Baeza, he's the 3rd best 3-year-old at this point, and he's still catching up to those 2. He's got less experience than those 2 runners. And as for Journalism now, he's definitely going to need a break because he ran in all 3 Triple Crown season series races this year. And he's the only horse to run in all 3 races. And he was 2nd in the Derby, 1st in the Preakness, and 2nd in the Belmont. And he was clearly 2nd best. He was more than 3 lengths in front of Baeza, who finished 3rd. And the rest of the order of finish, Rodriguez was 4th, and he ran a decent race. 1st start since the Wood Memorial. He had missed the Derby and the Preakness with a foot issue. So he's one that he could win some of these decent races, even races like the Haskell, the Pennsylvania Derby. I can see a horse like Rodriguez with his speed being a factor in races like that. Hill Road was 5th, really didn't set up for him. The horses that were in good tactical position were just able to run better. But for Baeza, though, I did think that he was going to be closer to the pace. He did rally from 6th, and he was wide in the stretch. So Baeza just didn't get as close as I thought he would, but he did run another decent race. And Rodriguez, as I said, he needed that race. 1st start in 9 weeks. Hill Road was 5th, and he was a clear 5th too. And he's just not as good as those top 4 at this point. But he's one that he has a decent stretch kick, and if he can get some more pace help in the future, he would be one that could do something. Heart of Honor had another slow start. He was in the outside post, and he was passing some tired horses, and he ended up finishing 6th. They're probably going to take him back to Europe, and then they're going to be pointing next winter for Dubai for that one. Uncaged, he was just overmatched in here. He was tracking the pace early, and then he weakened, and then his stablemate Crudo weakened to finish last. He just wasn't experienced enough to handle a field like this, because there's a lot of quality at the top of this division with Sovereignty, Journalism, and Baeza. Now, what's going to be next for them? You would think that the Travers, you would like to see these 3 horses meet again in the Travers Stakes. Then we also have a race like the Haskell later this summer. Journalism will need a break. Sovereignty and Baeza are fresher than him. We'll see what they do with Journalism. With the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar, and Journalism's already won at Del Mar, you would think that's going to be one of their big goals this year, the Breeders' Cup Classic. And maybe all 3 of these horses meet there as well, since Baeza's a West Coast horse as well. And Sovereignty's the leader of the division at this point. We'll have to see how the rest of the year plays out in this 3-year-old division, but I think it's going to be tough to beat the top horses at the top of this division. You're going to have to be a good horse to jump up and get to their level, because they're all 3 quality 3-year-olds. And that'll do it for my look at the Belmont Stakes. It's been a fun Triple Crown season this year. I'm glad I was able to get a profit and hit the Derby and the Preakness. I'm disappointed for the clients that I couldn't give out the winning tickets for the Belmont Stakes. As I said, you had to take a stand in a race like this. I couldn't do a bunch of exacta boxes. You just weren't going to be making money. I was trying to come out with a decent strategy. that was going to allow people to make a decent score if I was correct about journalism winning the race, but I was not. So anybody that had Sovereignty, good pick there. You were right about Sovereignty being the best horse in the Derby and the Belmont Stakes. And that'll do it for this video. And don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And then I also posted for Sunday, June 8th, they're going to be running the Matt Winn Stakes at Churchill Downs. I did a video on my channel, and I went through the field and gave out my top choice and wagering strategies for that one. So check out that video if you're interested. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.